I used to believe loneliness was the worst thing a person could feel. I was wrong. Loneliness is nothing compared to the moment you realize you were never alone to begin with. I moved into apartment 3B in early October. It was cheap, too cheap, especially for the city. One bedroom, narrow kitchen, creaking wooden floors, and a bathroom that always smelled faintly of damp plaster, no matter how much I cleaned it. The landlord didn't ask many questions. He barely looked at me when I signed the lease, just slid the papers across the desk with trembling fingers and said, "Don't make noise after midnight." I laughed at the time. I thought he was joking. The first night was quiet. Too quiet. No traffic noise, no neighbors arguing through thin walls, not even the hum of distant sirens that usually bled into the city's background soundscape. It felt like the building was holding its breath. I remember lying in bed, staring at the ceiling fan, counting rotations to make myself sleep. That's when I heard it. A sound. Soft, almost polite. A footstep. From inside my apartment. I froze. My bedroom door was open, a thin sliver of yellow light spilling in from the hallway. The sound came again, slow, deliberate, the kind of step someone takes when they don't want to be heard. I held my breath and listened. Nothing. After a long minute, I convinced myself it was the building settling, old pipes, wood contracting, normal sounds. That's what people say when they don't want to panic. The second night, I heard whispering. Not words, just breathy murmurs like someone practicing speech in another room. It came from the bathroom. I sat up in bed, heart pounding, and called out, "Hello?" The whispering stopped instantly. Dead silence. I checked the bathroom. Empty. Mirror fogged slightly, though I hadn't showered. I wiped it clean and stared at my reflection longer than necessary, half expecting it to blink out of sync with me. It didn't. That night, I locked my bedroom door. By the end of the first week, the apartment began to feel aware. Objects weren't where I left them. Cabinets stood open. The bathroom light flicked on by itself at exactly 3:12 a.m. every night. Always the same time. I started filming short videos on my phone before going to sleep, proving to myself that I'd turned everything off. In the morning, the proof didn't matter. The lights were on anyway. And sometimes when I replayed the videos, I heard breathing that wasn't mine. The scratching started on the 9th night. At first, it came from inside the walls, slow dragging sounds like fingernails being pulled gently across plaster. It moved from room to room, following me. I slept on the couch with every light on. The scratching stopped when I looked directly at the wall. It resumed the moment I turned away. I stopped inviting people over. When my friend Daniel finally came by unannounced, he stood in the doorway and frowned. Why does it smell like mold and copper? I hadn't noticed. He walked around the apartment, uneasy, eyes darting toward corners and shadows. When he reached the bathroom, he stopped. Why is there another toothbrush? I stared at the sink. 2 toothbrushes, mine and another, older, frayed, bristles darkened as if used for years. "I live alone," I said. Daniel laughed nervously. "Maybe the last tenant?" "There was no last tenant," I snapped. I didn't mean to yell. Daniel left early. As he stepped into the hallway, he turned back and said something that still echoes in my head. "Man, it feels like someone's standing right behind me." The door slammed shut on its own. That night, I dreamed of the apartment watching me sleep. I dreamed of walls bending inward like ribs, of the ceiling lowering inch by inch, of something crawling just beneath the floorboards, learning my routine. When I woke up, my bedroom door was wide open, and muddy footprints led from the bathroom to the side of my bed. Only one set, and they stopped inches from my face. I tried leaving. I packed a bag, heart racing, refusing to spend another night there. When I reached the front door, I felt a pressure in my chest, like invisible hands pushing me back. The door wouldn't open. The handle turned freely, but the door stayed closed. Behind me, I heard breathing, slow, satisfied. I didn't turn around. I slept in the apartment that night. I didn't dream. On the 15th night, I found the journal. It was hidden behind a loose tile in the bathroom wall, leather-bound, damp, pages warped as if soaked and dried repeatedly. The first entry was dated 11 years ago. It lets you think you're alone at first. My hands shook as I read. The writer described the same sounds, the same whispers, the same time, 3:12 a.m., every entry. Every entry ended the same way. It's learning me. The final entry was short. If you're reading this, it means it didn't let me leave. It needs someone new. The page was stained dark brown, not ink. That night, the whispering spoke clearly for the first time. It came from everywhere at once, from the walls, the ceiling, inside my head. You see me now. The lights went out. I felt something sit on the edge of my bed, the mattress sinking under its weight. Cold fingers brushed my ankle, tracing upward slowly, possessively. I screamed. The whisper laughed. I woke up on the floor of the bathroom. The mirror was shattered, and written across the wall in something wet and dark were the words, "Stay still. It's easier." I didn't sleep again. Days blurred together. The apartment fed of my fear. Shadows stretched longer. Hallways felt deeper. The air grew thick, hard to breathe. And then it stopped. The noises ceased. The lights stayed off. The apartment felt empty. Relieved, I thought I'd survived. That's when I noticed my reflection. It didn't move when I did. It smiled. I don't know how long I've been here now. Time doesn't behave correctly inside apartment 3B. Sometimes I hear footsteps outside the door. New footsteps, curious footsteps. I want to warn them, but when I open my mouth, the whisper speaks instead. Welcome home. If you're listening to this story right now, if you've ever felt watched in your own home, check the corners, check the mirrors, and whatever you do, don't stay after midnight, because it's already learned you, and it's waiting.